You're 23 years old. You've just started a new job and moved into a small two-bedroom apartment with a roommate you don't really know. Someone neutral, not quite a friend, but not a stranger either. You split rent, bills, and basic responsibilities. To avoid tension, you both agree to a simple system to keep things fair. Who cleans what, who handles what tasks, and when. You divide things evenly. One of the shared responsibilities is taking out the trash. You agree that you'll take it out every Sunday night, and your roommate will handle it every Wednesday night. Simple. Fair. Predictable. The first few weeks go exactly as planned. Sunday comes, you take the trash out. Wednesday comes, your roommate does the same. Everything feels balanced. Then one Wednesday, you come home late from work and notice the trash is still there. Bags piled by the door, starting to smell. You don't say anything. You assume it's a one-time slip. People get busy. Maybe they'll take it out the next morning. Sunday arrives. The trash hasn't moved. In fact, there's even more now. Overflowing bags, loose debris. Your roommate hasn't been home all day. You debate what to do. You don't want to cause friction, and you don't want the apartment to stink. So you take the trash out yourself. It keeps things on track, at least for now. That Wednesday, your roommate takes the trash out as agreed. Balance restored, or so it seems. The following Wednesday, the trash piles up again. This time, you ask them about it. They say they'll get to it. You accept that. But the next day, it's still there. And the day after that, by Sunday, the trash is overflowing again. Now you're stuck? Do you take it out and quietly accept that this might become your responsibility? Or do you refuse and let the mess grow, risking constant tension and an unpleasant living space? What signal have you already sent by stepping in before? What signal will you send next? Can you reset expectations once they've shifted? And what happens if you stop cooperating and your roommate doesn't step up either? At this point, the issue isn't really about trash anymore. It's about incentives, expectations, and long-term consequences. You're trying to decide not just what to do now, but what kind of pattern you're creating. You're weighing strategy, not just cleanliness. This situation is a real-world version of a famous concept in game theory known as the prisoner's dilemma. It describes scenarios where two individuals would both benefit from cooperation, but each person also has an incentive to act in their own interest. When both choose self-interest over cooperation, both end up worse off. In this case, the incentive is avoiding the inconvenience of taking out the trash. The outcomes range from a clean apartment and a functional relationship to ongoing mess and resentment. The dilemma lies in choosing whether to cooperate when you can't be sure the other person will do the same. At a broader level, game theory is the mathematical study of decision-making in situations where outcomes depend not just on your own choices, but on the choices of others. More specifically, it examines how cooperation and conflict among rational actors can lead to either optimal or poor results. At its core, game theory is the science of strategy. These dynamics appear everywhere, in social relationships, in business, in economics, and in politics. Every interaction, whether between two people or entire nations, involves decisions that affect everyone involved. Each of us has the power not only to influence our own situation, but to shape the conditions and outcomes for others as well. The consequences of these decisions can be trivial, like household chores, or existential, like whether a country survives. Game theory proposes that any decision made toward a particular goal can, in principle, be modeled mathematically. Given defined constraints and objectives, there is theoretically a rationally optimal choice. Beyond that, optimal strategies can be identified across repeated interactions. Through computer simulations and experiments, researchers have discovered that certain strategies consistently outperform others in surprisingly broad conditions. One of these strategies is strikingly simple and deeply hopeful. It's something anyone can apply in daily life. Before going further, it's important to clarify what game means in game theory. It doesn't just refer to board games or competitions. A game is any interaction involving multiple decision makers where each person's outcome depends on the choices of others. This includes chess and poker, but also negotiations, friendships, rivalries, trade deals, and conflicts. Almost any situation involving cooperation or competition qualifies. Game theory typically distinguishes between cooperative and non-cooperative games. Cooperative games involve shared goals, open communication, and mutual benefit. Examples include teammates on a sports team, business partners, roommates in theory, and international alliances. These situations assume fairness and collaboration. Non-cooperative games, however, are far more common and often more revealing. In these situations, individuals act independently in pursuit of their own interests. There are often winners and losers, and decisions are made strategically, sometimes at others' expense. This dynamic is frequently illustrated in game shows. For example, in the British game show Golden Balls, two strangers must decide whether to split or steal a large sum of money. If both choose to split, they share the prize. If one steals while the other splits, the thief takes everything. If both steal, neither gets anything. Each player must choose without knowing what the other will do. In these one-time interactions, game theory shows that there is a dominant strategy, a choice that yields the best outcome regardless of the other person's decision. In Golden Balls, that strategy is to steal. If the other person splits, stealing gives you more. If the other person steals, you lose nothing extra by stealing as well. From a purely rational standpoint, stealing always dominates. But real life is rarely a single, isolated round. Interactions usually repeat. Decisions echo forward. Relationships evolve. When someone fails to take out the trash once, the situation doesn't end there. Future behavior is shaped by past choices. When businesses compete or collaborate, consequences ripple outward. When nations act, history unfolds. Recognizing this, political scientist Robert Axelrod set out in 1980 to identify the most effective strategy for repeated interactions. He organized a tournament using computer programs designed to compete in an iterated prisoner's dilemma. Each program played against every other program and itself across hundreds of rounds. In each round, players could cooperate or defect. Mutual cooperation earned moderate rewards for both. Defection against a cooperator yielded a high reward for the defector and nothing for the other. Mutual defection yielded low rewards for both. The goal was simple: accumulate the most points overall. 14 strategies were submitted, ranging from aggressive and manipulative to random and complex. Axelrod even included a program that behaved randomly. Some strategies attempted deception, others relied on punishment or unpredictability, and some were extremely simple. To widespread surprise, the winning strategy was one of the simplest: tit for tat. It began by cooperating, then mirrored its opponent's as previous move. If the opponent cooperated, it cooperated. If the opponent defected, it defected in response, but immediately returned to cooperation once the opponent did. Axelrod repeated the tournament multiple times. The results were consistent. Tit for tat won again and again. Even when the number of rounds was unknown, closer to real life, the same strategy prevailed. Tit for tat never dominated individual matches. It rarely crushed opponents. Instead, it built enough sustained cooperation across interactions to achieve the highest overall outcome. Its success came from being nice, retaliatory, forgiving, and clear. It avoided unnecessary conflict, punished defection proportionally, restored cooperation quickly, and made its behavior predictable. Later experiments showed that even more generous versions, those that occasionally forgave defection without immediate retaliation, performed even better under chaotic conditions. Aggressive strategies, by contrast, often trap themselves in cycles of mutual harm. The lesson is straightforward but profound. In repeated interactions, leading with cooperation is not weakness, it's strength. Retaliation is necessary, but it should be measured and clear. Forgiveness restores balance. Grudges weaken long-term outcomes. Justice, in this sense, mirrors the principle of proportional response. Consequences matter, but so does reconciliation. On a personal level, this means being kind and fair without becoming a pushover. Of course, game theory has limits. Simulations can never fully capture the emotional, irrational, and chaotic nature of human behavior. Real life includes bias, fear, pride, and hope. Factors no equation fully models. Still, game theory offers an important insight. Not every interaction is about winning immediately. A strategy obsessed with winning every round often loses in the long run. Sustainable success requires accepting occasional losses, maintaining integrity, and staying open to cooperation. We can't control whether others cooperate or defect, but we can control how we respond and why. And each choice we make influences future interactions, shaping relationships, systems, and even societies. So when your moment comes and the trash is piling up again, remember, the choice isn't just about convenience. It's about the kind of game you're playing. And for starters, it might mean taking out the trash, but not without understanding why. You're 23 years old. You've just started a new job and moved into a small 2-bedroom apartment with a roommate you don't really know. Someone neutral, not quite a friend, but not a stranger either. You split rent, bills, and basic responsibilities. To avoid tension, you both agree to a simple system to keep things fair. Who cleans what, who handles what tasks, and when. You divide things evenly.